Welcome back. The Ministry of Transport will continue subsidizing the rural air services in Sabah and Sarawak to ease travel for rural folks in the respective states. Its Minister, Anthony Loke, said the federal government has allocated a total of 209 million ringgit to cover the operating costs, including aircraft rental. The statement comes after successful discussions for the acquisition of Maswing Sdn Bhd under Malaysia Aviation Group by Hornbill Skyways Sdn Bhd.
Kerajaan Persekutuan melalui Kementerian Pengangkutan akan meneruskan pemberian subsidi Kerajaan Persekutuan bagi membolehkan perkhidmatan ras terus dinikmati oleh penduduk di pedalaman Sabah dan Sarawak. Komitmen ini telah dizahirkan melalui Belanjawan Madani 2024 yang telah diumumkan pada 20 Oktober 2023 oleh Yang Berhormat Perdana Menteri melalui program ke-6 di bawah agenda kedua, Kemajuan Sabah dan Sarawak, di mana kerajaan memutuskan untuk meneruskan subsidi perkhidmatan udara luar bandar sebanyak 209 juta ringgit bagi tahun 2024. Terima kasih.
Hornbill Skyways has been operating chartered flights in Sarawak since 1977. On October 27, Hornbill Skyways and the Malaysian Aviation Group MAG inked a Memorandum of Understanding to expedite the share acquisition in Maswing Sdn Bhd for the management of RAS. Meanwhile, Luke added the MOT was looking into a mechanism to provide subsidies to ensure that the price of flight tickets from the peninsula to Sabah and Sarawak can be controlled or reduced for a few days before festive seasons. He said that the issue was different with RAS since the subsidy was given for the operation of air services in the interior of Sabah and Sarawak, but no government subsidy was provided for the aviation sector from the peninsula to the two states because it is not subject to RAS.
The distribution of the 100 ringgit e-wallet credit or e-Madani to 10 million eligible Malaysians will not contribute to a rise in the inflation rate in the country. Deputy Finance Minister Dato Sri Ahmad Mazlan stated that this is due to the total amount of 1 billion ringgit allocated for the program is considered very little compared to the gross domestic product GDP at the moment.
Dia tidak akan menyebabkan inflasi kerana duit di pasaran tu 1 bilion. Kalau kita gandakan 3, apa yang dipanggil sebagai multiplier effect. Untuk orang persendirian, multiplier effectnya 3 kali. Jadi kalau 1 bilion tu menjadi 3 bilion. 3 bilion ini dia tidak akan menjejaskan 1.8 trilion jumlah ekonomi negara ataupun KDNK negara. Bank negara beranggap dia tidak akan menaikkan kadar inflasi.
At the same time, Ahmad Mazlan also advised eligible recipients of the assistance not to rush to redeem the cash e-credit as the redemption period is still valid and will continue until February 20th, 2024.
Dan untuk permohonan sehingga Februari, 24 Februari permohonan daripada semalam hingga 24 Februari. Jadi oleh kerana semalam ada sedikit technical terutama MAE Maybank, tapi dah diperbaiki perkara itu, dah selesai. Saya kira rakyat tak perlu tergesa-gesa sebab dia sehingga 29 Februari untuk ditunaikan.
Previously, Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim announced the one-off e-Madani credit assistance, which is open for registration and claims from December 4th, 2023 to February 20th, 2024. The initiative from the Ministry of Finance aims to promote digital economy and foster a cashless payment culture benefiting 10 million eligible adult citizens with an allocation of 1 billion ringgit.
Going back to the United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP28, for a moment as it unfolds in Dubai, the spotlight is on green initiatives, a realm where Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Joritun Openg, renowned for his effort in championing the course in sustainable practices in Sarawak, resonates with the conference focus on environmental conservation and renewable energy. The delegates at COP28 have eagerly received Premier Abang Johari's presence and insights, recognizing his role as a key figure in driving eco-friendly practices and contributing to the global discourse on climate action. For the latest developments and coverage of the event, Premier Abang Johari's contributions at COP28, we now go live to our editor, Daryl Law, reporting directly from Dubai.
Thank you, studio. Now, it's indeed an interesting day for Sarawak as Premier himself, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, started his first official visit here in Dubai, where he visited the Singapore Pavilion to witness the MOU signing between Invest Sarawak and Surbana Jurong Private Limited. This MOU is also in conjunction with the United Nations Climate Change Conference, also known as COP28. Now, to talk further on the MOU is a nature progression following the completion of the master plan of the development of industrial terminal in Sarawak that Surbana Jurong did for the government of Sarawak. The master plan has identified challenges and opportunities for Sarawak industrial landscape, such as green economic opportunities, and enhance the development skill set to equip the people of Sarawak for these new opportunities and the implementation of just energy transition and industrial decarbonization projects integrated with the greenfield and brownfield industrial activities. Now, in his short remark, the Premier has also announced that up till September this year, a total of 11.3 billion worth of investment has been approved in particularly the manufacturing sector. Now, following the MOU was signed by the CEO of Investment Sarawak, which is Timothy Ong, and also the representative of Surbana Jurong Private Limited, which is the Managing Director of Energy and Industrial, Mr. Tan Woi Leong himself. Now, following the MOU, the Premier then visited the Malaysia Pavilion, where he get to see a few talks where panelists share their insight on what was to be as the world transition into a greener initiative. Now, he also said his concern where he addressed the media earlier today, whereby the finance remains a very critical part for projects in the green sector to actually propel, where all the financing and banking would weigh in the cost, and this is a common or standard instrument that is to fine line by Sarawak. Now, Abang Johari has already stated this, that they are trying to actually formulate something to actually get the banking and also private sector to join on board in the green economic. Other than that, Abang Johari also emphasizes on the green technology and also the resources that Malaysia, particularly in Sarawak, could actually tap on. Now, he mentioned that Sarawak is 70% generated by the clean energy resources, which is our hydro dam, generated by our hydro dam. That is the thing that has been ongoing, and later in the evening, Abang Johari was visited by the Singapore's Senior Minister, Mr. Teo Chee Hean, where bilateral talks was conducted between the two leaders to actually see avenue that they could work, collaborative avenue that they could work together between Sarawak and also Singapore. Well, tomorrow, Abang Johari is expected to have a meeting with Mubadala Investment Company and also witness another MOU signing with Mazda and also Sarawak Energy Berhad. Both of this will be an interesting, yet another interesting day for Abang Johari and also his entourage here in Dubai. That's all from me. I'm Daryl, together with Aziz, TVS, Dubai.
Thank you. That was Daryl Law reporting from Dubai. Now, in other news, foreigners wishing to enter the country are given the flexibility until December 31st to fill in the Malaysia Digital Arrival Card, or MDAC, at the country's checkpoints. Home Minister Dato Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said that from January 1st, 2024, foreigners will be required to fill in the digital card 2 or 3 days before arriving in the country.
Mengisi digital arrival card itu ada suatu kemestian yang mereka mesti penuhi sebab maklumat dalam digital arrival card memberi kita maklumat penting seumpama keberadaan mereka. Mereka berada di mana, alamatnya di mana dan sebagainya. Ini adalah langkah penting untuk kita mengetahui tentang keberadaan sepanjang mereka berada di sini.
He was speaking at a press conference after inspecting the implementation of the visa liberalization plan at Kuala Lumpur International Airport Terminal 1 earlier today. According to Saifuddin, foreign tourists to Malaysia do not have to face the rather complicated visa application process by filling out the MDAC. He added MDAC is one of the 5 main initiatives for the improvement of the Immigration Department's service facilities in line with the implementation of the visa liberalization plan, which exempts tourists from China and India from December 1st from visas for 30 days.
Yang kita laksanakan adalah liberalisasi visa. Tujuan dia untuk melonjakkan sektor pelancongan supaya tidak dirumitkan melalui proses visa, tetapi elemen kawalan adalah kita memperkenalkan digital arrival card. Gunanya untuk kita mengetahui pergerakan mereka.
In world news, an online row has emerged between the World Health Organization (WHO) and Israel after the United Nations health body said the Israeli army ordered it to remove supplies from its warehouse in southern Gaza, a claim Israel then denied. According to WHO Chief Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus on X, that the WHO received notification from the Israeli forces that they should remove their supplies from their medical warehouse in southern Gaza within 24 hours, as ground operations will put it beyond use.
He appealed to Israel to withdraw the order and take measures to protect infrastructure, such as hospitals. The Israeli army snapped back on Tuesday, saying it never issued such a warning. The Israeli Defense Ministry said on X that the truth is that we didn't ask you to evacuate the warehouses, and we also made it clear to the relevant UN representatives. It added it expected a UN official to be more accurate. An Al Jazeera correspondent said the WHO took the warning seriously and have started to move supplies out of the warehouse. The warehouse services 11 hospitals in southern Gaza, and there were concerns among UN officials that the removal of supplies could lead hospitals in the south to become even more overwhelmed. The WHO, like other UN agencies, has repeatedly called on Israel to restrain its use of force to avoid targeting civilians and medical facilities in its military offensive in Gaza.
Meanwhile, police in the Philippines are chasing 4 men in connection with the deadly bombing of a Catholic mass on Sunday in the southern Philippines that targeted worshippers made up of mostly students inside a university gymnasium in Marawi. At least 4 people were killed and 50 were wounded in the bombing.
Police have identified 2 Filipino men, both with criminal records that include murder, who were seen by witnesses inside the gym before the blast. Police had not yet identified the other 2 men or a motive for the attack. Authorities said that the 2 Filipino suspects belong to a militant group previously linked to bombing incidents in Mindanao. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. condemned the blast as a senseless and most heinous act and blamed foreign terrorists for the assault. Preliminary investigation found that a grenade or an improvised bomb is likely to have caused the explosion. Army Chief General Romeo Bronner said previously that the attack may have been revenge for the recent military operations against 3 militant groups that include Abu Sayyaf, One of those operations killed an Abu Sayyaf bomb expert who was allegedly responsible for the 2019 deadly attack on a cathedral on the southern island of Jolo.
A Nigerian army drone strike accidentally killed at least 85 civilians on Sunday in a village in northwest Kaduna State, officials said, in one of the country's deadliest military bombing mishaps. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Tuesday ordered an investigation after the army acknowledged one of its drones aimed at armed groups had accidentally struck the Tudun Biri village as the residents were celebrating a Muslim festival.
The army did not give any casualty figures, but local residents had said 85 people, many of them women and children, had been killed. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, said another 66 people were being treated at hospital, but emergency officials were still negotiating with community leaders to calm tensions to be able to reach the village. Nigeria's armed forces often rely on airstrikes in their battle against bandit militias in the northwest and the northeast of the country, where militants have been fighting for more than a decade. The army had said its drone was a routine mission that inadvertently affected members of the community. Many of the victims were women, children, and elderly who had been celebrating the Muslim festival of Maulud. Militia gangs have long terrorized parts of northwest Nigeria, operating from bases deep in forests and raiding villages to loot and kidnap residents for ransom. In the northeast, jihadists have been pushed back from the territory they held at the height of the conflict, though they continue to fight on in rural areas. More than 40,000 people have been killed and 2 million displaced since 2009 in that conflict.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. Up-to-the-minute headlines are now available across all our social media platforms. And that's all the updates for TVS Nightline. I'm Razi Ahmad. Thank you for watching and have a good night.